Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April something, 25th, 2010. Wow, time is going by really quickly. And it is day 9 dating number 108. Oh, let's let it white balance adjust. Oh, isn't my camera fancy? Oh my god, I'm super pumped because today we're going to look at some awesome stuff by Nony. But of course, before that, we need to just do some general updates about the life of me, because I did a pretty sweet thing this weekend. I went to the Southern California Classics Gaming Convention, which is this guy in his backyard. He set up like a party where there was a bunch of super old school arcade games, like circa 1979 to like 1988, right? Super giga mega old school awesome kind of stuff. So I got the chance to play like the original Asteroids and stuff, and I got to play like Turkey Shoot, where you have this gun and you like fire at turkeys that are like robbing a bank or something. And get this, when you beat the level, actual feathers explode up in between like you and the screen. It's super awesome. But I had the delight of playing this game called Marble Madness. All of you need to YouTube this game like immediately. It's called Marble Madness. So you're a marble and you roll around on this obstacle course, and there's all these things just trying to knock you over, and there's some pretty cool physics going on in it. And what's interesting though is that I always played it on the Sega Genesis, which, you know, you have a controller and you kind of like steer it around and everything. But on the actual arcade machine, it's like a ball. And you actually physically roll this ball. You have to, like, roll it around. And the thing is that there's no cap on how fast you can roll it. Just the faster you can roll it, the faster your marble will accelerate in whatever direction. So, like, I'm there, and I'm, like, trying to roll it as fast as I can to go around. I start ripping all the skin off my hand. It, like, hurt. But it was, like, so addictive just to, like, go around. And, oh, my God, any of you have any access to a Marble Madness machine, you totally have to go. And also something very amazing, something very touching happened to me. I was playing this one arcade game called Galaxian, which, you know, many of you really should know. That game's pretty kick-ass. You're just, you know, it's a spaceship on the bottom of the screen. You're trying to shoot a whole bunch of little aliens just trying to come at you. So you just can only move back and forth. It's like one of those Raiden rail fighter style games. So I'm there and I'm like tapping the buttons. And I finish, and this 40-year-old guy who was like watching me is like, let me explain to you some tricks that you should know for this game. You look kind of young. I'm not sure if you've played this, but I played this as a kid. Let me show you what's up. And of course, you know, I'm day 9, you know, I play Starcraft. But the thing about Starcraft is I've spent so much time trying to get good at it that it makes me realize that I'm pretty much awful at everything, right? And he sits down, and this 40-year-old guy shows me what's up in Galaxian. Oh my god, he was like sick and like knew all these tricks, and he had like names for all the little bugs on the screen, and it was just this heartwarming moment where I'm like, oh my god, I just got owned by this like 40-year-old guy, you know. It's always cool, you know, when you're like, oh, mom and dad, that I totally don't understand. But this guy, it's gonna be one cool pop, man. So today we have Nony doing some awesome Phoenix stuff. He posted a replay pack of him playing a whole bunch of games on the ladder now that we are in patch 10. And for any of you who did not get to see his HDH Invitational games against Moonglade, definitely do that. It was cool watching him play on Lost Temple. Oh my goodness. But this is just a replay pack of Nony just practicing some tactics with the Phoenix. And what's nice is he has it nicely well organized. We're going to go through those. And I did this last week with Dihilda, going through a lot of his Zerg vs. Zerg games and talking about extracting a build from a rep pack. We're going to try to do the same thing because I have not watched any of these games. So, I mean, I cheated a little bit with Dihilda. I got to select the games that I thought were useful and order them in a way that was helpful to see. But here, I haven't seen any of them. So, I'm actually going to before I come over to the main screen, we begin that, I just want to say one thing. I am having the most hectic final 2 weeks of the year. It's like insane. So anything about the videos not getting uploaded in time, I'm completely aware of them, and I'm really sorry. I'm just trying mondo hard. For any of you who got the chance to read the Blizzard trip write-up that Losing ID8 and I were part of, we got to go down to Blizzard, and there's a write-up on Team Liquid about it. Like, Losing ID8 took a photo of me, like, trying to finish a presentation, like, in a brief break, because I had a presentation that night. I mean, just crazy amounts of no time for me, so I'm really sorry about it. But computer parts just came in, so I'm going to be building a new computer in the next week, so we can have some HD, fantastic, fancy quality streaming. And for any of you who do not know, you can go to day9tv.blip.tv, and that's all my videos, and you can download them, you can watch them embedded, however you want. They are there and uploaded away from livestream that's been having increasingly large issues, despite a lot of their attempts to try to smooth things over. There's a lot of issues with livestream. Please use Blip TV. That'd be very helpful. So let all know. So yeah, here's a bunch of Nony's games. Now, one thing to note is that they were sorted by date. This is how I originally got the replays. Here they all are. So I don't want to watch them in this order. Like, how do I begin to pick this? So because Nony named them nicely, which was very helpful for me, else would have taken a long time, I'm going to go down and I'm going to just pick a map that he seems to have a lot of games on. Oh, great, Steps of War. So I look at this and I see he has 6 games on Steps of War. Anytime anyone asks me, how do I get better the quickest? My answer is always pick one map and practice one matchup using one strategy. Because just with those restrictions, there's still a huge amount of stuff to do. Incredible amounts of precision and adjustment, all sorts of deviations. You have to worry about all his possible openings and blah, blah, blah. So it's a very good way to focus when I'm trying to play myself. So same thing when I'm looking at a replay pack. I don't want to just try to watch all his games and get some general arc. I want to pick one map. So now that I've picked that, I notice that he plays against a Zerg, and then, oh, it's a Protoss versus Protoss. And here's another Protoss versus Protoss, and another one. And, oh, here's a Protoss versus Terran. Oh, and one more Protoss versus Protoss. So 11, 12, 13, and 15 all seem to be Protoss versus Protosses. So I am going to begin watching them in order. So I've picked one matchup on one map, and I'm going to try to put on the thought hammer here, bring it down on Nony's play, and extract a little bit of learning. And by the way, I just love this green bar down here at the bottom. Oh, God, I love that green bar. So good. So here we have Nony spawning at the top right. I'm gonna pretend to ignore this. Again, I want this to be like an actual experience if you were watching it. This is less commentary. If I was doing any commentary, I could easily throw up an overlay. I have such talents. But we do have Nony spawning here at the top right. I'll probably be doing a lot of Nony watching. I'm going to see if he does. I think the first thing I want to check is, does he go for a 9 pylon or a 10 pylon? Or even an 8 pylon? Some players were liking making a pylon on 8 because then they could spend a chrono boost getting 2 probes out duper fast. Some players prefer to get a 10 pylon, so that way they can get a 10 gate up relatively quickly. And oh, that looks like exactly what Nony's doing, right? He chrono boosts, and here comes the 10 pylon. I would say this is a little bit more of a stylistic choice, the 10 pylon. But 10 pylon, 10 gate is definitely a very specific opening, and this I think is so fancy. Right, Nony, look, he builds here, and then he mines, and then he returns. Oh, that's just so awesome. So cool, here is the 10 gateway, great, and he's returning. And already his opponent's like, oh my goodness, my pylon only just finished, and I don't even have enough for a gateway. He might not talk like that, but that's how I'm going to say it in my head, because remember, the opponent is always the enemy. So, you know, some nice chrono boosting going on by Nony. And I'm aware that he's going Phoenixes. That's all I know because Nony posted this replay pack and he said, hey, I did some cool things with Phoenixes. So I'm just going to try to keep that on the brain. I'm not going to go too quickly. I might go quickly in the future replays, but I just want to keep that on the brain. Alright, cool. Looks like he's Assimilator on 13. And yes, super good luck, Nony, in the HDH Invitational. Oh, Sky, he's so good manner. So one thing I'm noticing about this, if you go for this 10 pylon, then a 10 gate, you end up getting your cybernetics core out before your second pylon. It's pretty fast. Or you could just be going for a very fast zealot. That's also a possibility whenever you open up with this 10 gate. In this matchup, I'd probably prefer to get the cybernetics core out. And yep, there's a cybernetics core already making a nice little wall. Cool. He has a very small entrance to his base. Just magnifies the strength of sentries by a degrillion %. I mean, just so much. And, you know, Sky just sort of chrono boosting away. Getting his second pylon before his cybernetics core. So here comes Sky's cybernetics core, almost certainly. Like a semi-wall, but, you know, nothing too extreme. And so now I'm looking for the next key building. When is this second gas geyser going down? I'm probably not going to focus too much on a lot of little stuff like chrono boosting. That's one of those things that's such a fine-grained detail that just doesn't bother me to like know it right away. What I want to do is I want to look at this and get some broad strokes. And if there are some things that I'm aware of, you know, like is he going 10 pylon 10 gate, or 9 pylon 13 gate, or 8 pylon fast chrono boost into 11 gate, something like that. If I have these 3 ideas in my head, I can be aware of those. But there's this huge issue that players have. No, sorry, Mom. I'm in a cast. One of the big issues that players have whenever they watch replays or try to learn from replays is they get way down and burrow into the ultra specifics. And they'll sit there and they'll watch and they'll go, okay, and he's chrono boosting right now. Okay, I'm going to write down chrono boost, and he's sending his probe at this angle, and his pylon, is it touching the nexus or is it not touching the nexus? Oof, too much stuff. Looking at this is all I'm getting. 10 pylon, 10 gate, to help wallet his ramp, and then get a cybernetics core really fast, and a gas geyser. I'm going to worry about little things like the chrono boosting once I'm watching like replay 3 or 4 or 5, because if I don't have an idea of what he's doing, I don't know specifically what I should be looking for. Oh, that's interesting, he's getting a cybernetics core warp gate upgrade. Okay, cool. Sincerely hope he's actually going Phoenixes in this. This was his Phoenix replay pack. That would be hilarious if he was not. So it looks like he's getting a Zealot out right now. Probably going to be getting a Sentry out in a moment. Yep, there's the Sentry. Zealot and Sentry, very standard combination. So that way you can